Welcome to Tactical Timeout. I'm Anthony.
I'm Justin.
And today we're talking about the Leagues of Votann. It's been a crazy month. Squats came back, got nerfed, and now their models are finally coming out.
Well, how does it feel to be on the short end of the stick?
We're starting off with one of my favorite strategies. It's really fun and it makes up for the nerf to Judgment for mag rails not being able to spill over as well anymore. But this is melee, so I call it Scuffed Mag rails. You take an F tier champion with the Exactor Relic because it has the special ability of on 6s to hit, unmodified 6s, it's D3 plus 3 mortal wounds. Basically the basic mag rail that the warriors get. Now, what's really good with this is because you can't guarantee a 6, except you can with Greater Thurian League. Uthar here, he could automatically pick someone within range, 9 inches, since if you give him a warlord trait, he gets plus 3 inches to the range. He can just order, you get a 6 to hit, and now you get 3 more attacks with the potential to do even more mortal wounds. That is, you could wipe out any squad or maybe even a large model, they just don't get a save. You could also teleport him in 9 inches away and charge in, and it just works right off the bat. He's safe in cover, but I found out he's accelerated. So honestly, I prefer to run him up. He auto advances 6, and you can use a stratagem to make him auto advance 12. That is a 17-inch movement dwarf charging at you with a hammer that could potentially do like 10 mortal wounds. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's very strong. It's basically putting a railgun in literally a railgun in a hammer, smashing things. With that, he's even very good at clearing mobs. If you end up rolling a 6 to hit, mobs are dead. Like you can do D3 plus 3 mortal wounds, kill anything from guardsmen to space marines. It's very much a havoc. And for the points cost it is, even for one relic, it's a distraction card effects. Your opponent's gonna focus that unit down. If otherwise he's gonna get a hammerful of pain.
This next one's a little obvious, Pioneers with scanners. But what's not obvious is just how effective it is. Pioneers can go 12 inches, auto advance from 12, they're accelerated, and it plays great into Votann's best secondary, mineral deposits. You just do an action, and at the end of your turn, you just get 3 points for getting a mineral deposit. And the good thing is, you roll a dice, on a 6, it's a rich mineral deposit, this happens once a game, 3 extra points right off the bat. Pioneers, their core, they could do the action, and with the scanner, you get a +1 to the roll. It goes on average from not even happening once a game to on average happening once a game as long as you do it 3 times. You might even get lucky and get it right off the first one, and that's just 6 points, start of the game.
Very easy, and your opponent really can't stop it considering it happens during your turn.
Yep.
These things are also fast, so easy to get to your opponent's side of the field, start the action. Your opponent's gonna have to multi-focus on different things. It's either objectives or kill things. They only have a 4+ save, even with Void Armor. It's still squishy, but there are stratagems that can make that they are -1 to hit, can't reroll against them. You're putting the CP into it, but you're keeping those bikes alive to be annoying another day.
And they're cheap.
Like how many is it for 18? 500 points almost?
About 500. Keeping on with secondaries, since it's very important. Votann, most of their secondaries aren't good, and I found out the hard way. I thought Lay Claim was an amazing secondary, but Justin here taught me wrong very easily. But there will be one strategy here that makes it better. With this Hearthguard combo, you can make it pretty decent. It kind of reminds me of the Naked Tau Commander strat I did in the Tau Tactics video, since there is a relic that lets you teleport once in the game for free. It's really nice because if it's on a far objective, your opponent didn't plan on you taking it, since it's in a bad spot, it exposes you, and you just shoot them off it maybe, you get to teleport for free. If you want to teleport more during the game, the Iron Master, he reduces the cost of the site-to-site transport by 1, so it's instead of 2 CP, it's 1 CP. Imagine a Terminator equivalent squad that could go up to like 10 models, just teleporting around the board, being meat blenders, meleeing, whatever, and at the end of the game, teleporting onto an objective that gives you 5 points.
As we know, they only have one Psyker, Mr. Grimnyr here. Grimnyr can be kitted out to become pretty nasty in the Psychic phase. I wouldn't say 1000 Suns level, but just enough to become a very viable threat. Take the Murmuring Staff, the staff that gives him an additional spell in his discipline, but more importantly, allows him to do a psychic action and perform one cast afterwards. It's not that it allows you to cast everything else, it's only one cast. Make him a Lord Grimnyr, so he gets +1 to casting if there's anyone with 1 judgment token within 18 inches of him. Give him the Warlord trait to increase the range of all Skin Rot Discipline magic by 6 inches. So turning things that are 18 inches usually to 24, the invulnerable taking magic to 18 inches, you're gonna have a very viable threat range. The most important thing with this is he becomes a very good secondary machine. The way I would play him is early game, keep him with a lot of Hearthguard in front. Hearthguard's weakness is Mortal Wounds and Psychic. So you're gonna have Grimnyr there, giving them the buffs, giving them ignore, casting. That unit is gonna be rock hard. You're gonna move him up, you're gonna give him toughness if you feel like it, but I would prefer doing the one that allows him to do 3d6 on a leadership to your opponent's unit, canceling out an action if you pass this. And if it passes as well, it's -1 to hit. So that unit is gonna be pretty gimped at that point. Psychic Interrogation is pretty good on him because if you end up passing it and you get over leadership of any model within 24 inches that's an enemy character, you get a CP back, which stacks with the strategy, with the magic that gives him +1 CP. So you get almost 2 a turn. I would play him early to mid game, turn 1 and 2, spam up as much magic as you can. If you take Warp Ritual, you get to the midfield, you're gonna be able to cast 3 times Warp Ritual, easy 12 command points there, or victory points.
It's just amazing how much they could generate CP. How you get to spam out your stratagem since most are 1 command point. Take the Iron Master to get -1. You're getting an effective 5 CP a turn with just the High Council. It's ridiculous, especially when everyone starts the game with just 6. That's why you should spend on these extra relics, these extra Warlord traits. They're all worth it, and you will be generating a ton of CP. Hearthkyn are kind of funny. This is a funny strat that will lead into a good one. The Warriors could take 20 man. Greater Thurian League counts as 1 additional model for just objectives, and there's a Warlord trait to make them count as 1 more. Those 20 guys count as 60 objective secured models. That's funny, really inefficient, you don't need that. What you do need is 2 Sagatorums to combat squad 1 10-man squad, and with that, put the Medic on one side and the Thane on the same side, so that they're very tanky. They're tankier than you think, kind of hard to take off. And now they count as 10 models, and if you need it, with the Warlord trait, make them count as 15 models on an objective while they're in a fast vehicle. That will let you keep points and move fast and keep them well.
Yep, the Sagatarum are also there. Once they unload their load, drive around, be annoying, tie things up in combat. The world's your oyster. To continue with their Hearthkyn talk, there is a pretty cool thing you can do with them. Have you ever wanted to play XCOM in 40k? Now you can. The Hearthkyn have a really good stratagem called Reactive Reprisal. During your opponent's shooting phase, if something with 1 judgment token shoots one of your units, you can choose 1 core unit that has line of sight to shoot. Doesn't matter how far it is. Could be 20 inches, 10 inches, 3 inches. Of course, as long as you're outside of engagement range. You can spend 1 command point if you're Hearthkyn, 2 command points if it's anything else. They get to shoot in that phase immediately. So you just got shot by something, such as a Dreadnought. Guess what? You got the Magna Rail taking a pot shot, maybe getting the kill.
There is a slight downside that is kind of a buff, where they can no longer shoot in their next shooting phase, but...
Yes, you gotta look on the bright side of dark times. In that time, you're gonna be able to just move. Move on to objective, do the action. Place your Hearthkyn in strategic areas where you know you're gonna use a stratagem, you're near an objective, you blast them off the table because something got shot. Next turn on your movement phase, move them on, do an action. So basically you got a free shooting out of it and you got a free action out of it rather than having to choose both.
Or a free advance, since you can't advance and shoot anyway.
Yeah.
The only assault guns in the army are on the Pioneers, basically.
Yep, and you start spamming this out because you know you have really low movement. You know you're always going to be guaranteed 8 inch with advancing. So you got to plan it out. You got to use that 1 CP to just start creeping up. You take your opportunities to Overwatch and just keep moving up. You got to keep moving. Votann box came with 20 Hearthkyn. You can build around that. Enjoy your XCOM. Enjoy your rolling 99% to hit and missing every single time.
I love using it against Banshees since they have battle focus. Now you get a chance to shoot them before they hide around a corner, Claudio. Do not underestimate the Votannic Council. It's not that expensive, and every single one of them is worth it. The only one that is situationally worth it is the Iron Master, since you don't always have a ton of vehicles and you might not be able to get them to the characters. But if you do want to get that +1 to hit that's inbuilt even on just the character without the council, he has 5 models in the unit. It does not say which model has to do the +1 to hit. So stretch out the unit. You have 5 models. You don't have to worry about doing the cap like on a 10-man unit. That's a huge area to just give +1 to hit. Imagine giving that to Hearthguard charging into battle.
I honestly like that idea. Like, my idea of using Hearthguard is different from other people. Drop on the table turn 1, Brock their Iron Master with them, Grimnyr, and Karl, of course. You're gonna have a very, as I said before, a tough, hard as a rock unit, which is the Hearthguard. They're gonna start moving up. Mid-game, everyone's in their position, everyone's in the middle of the field. Hearthguard disappear, teleport somewhere else, bam, 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 everything's dead. And it's just gonna guarantee you easy secondaries before they even teleport out with sight to sight. Your Brock Theer can give them +1 to hit. If you're taking Super Karl or Uthar, give them full rerolls. They teleport somewhere else, start unloading everything into a unit, charge something else, dead. All I see is death.
It's a little bit of a short book, so it was a real brain buster trying to unlock really good strategies for them, but I think we did a good job.
We squeezed out as much as we can. Of course, there's more hidden gems here and there. Hopefully we can find them out. If you know anything like that, please let us know in the comments below.
And make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
Yep, this is Northern Knights Gaming. I've been Justin.
I'm Anthony.
We'll see y'all next time.
Peace. This next one's more of a fun one since it's not that good, but it's really funny. The Ioneer Champion. He takes -1 damage, -1 to wound in melee, and there's a relic you could give him where you could just turn a damage to 0. Stack that with Uthar to make him get an automatic 6 on another save. He'll be impossible to take off the board, and when you activate the relic, it's once per battle round. On a 5+, the enemy gets a judgment. It's like, oh, you shot me? I'm offended. Get judged.
With that out of the way, you're gonna just max out on judgment. What's the point?
I mean, it's just funny more than anything. It's called Yama's Shield.
Man, this Yama guy, he really just wants to overkill on judgment.
And he didn't want to get hurt.
It's time to get judged.
Shmolio, calm down. We're filming a video here.
Sorry.
Phil, you couldn't even find one stratagem. Look how many we found. Justin found 2 in 15 minutes.
Be quiet, Shmolio! Don't say that, you're gonna make him mauled.
I'm sorry, I don't want to make you mauled. Mauled cam. Ah.